What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate y'all. Hey, what's up? Canada, hi. Hi, everybody. The army is here. Hey, what up, B? I think I can make you a moderator here, bro. Yeah. There we go. Brett, you are a moderator now. Dimple, what's up? I don't know if that's the same Dimple. What's up, Flint? It's good to see you guys. Hey, everybody. It is good to be seen. Except for that fucking motherfucker right there. Yeah, they just added the ability to moderate. So, I know that a lot of you have been... it's hard to look at that motherfucker, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, if I could be this close to him, man, what? Ooh-wee. Okay. Now, there's some Russian in here. I don't know what that is, but or Ukrainian. I can't tell. Sorry. Forgive me. Anyway, I know a lot of you have been asking for me to come back to the metal genre, which I refuse to do. You know, there's just so much that's happened over the in this genre. Hey, what's up, Colorado? I've never voted. They all trash. Just at different times overall at the same. It's a march. Sofa King Sweet, which is funny. You think that's a funny play on word, which I learned that when I was a kid, like Sofa King. Sofa King. You never voted, then you are destined to be ruled by your inferiors. Unless you're already inferior, then this dude might be your superior. He is not mine. This motherfucker is not superior to me in any way. I mean, we could just do like test how soft his hands versus my hand. My hands are pretty fucking soft. You can ask any lady, they know. Anyway, okay, just checking out the new stuff on YouTube. Sorry, everybody. But so somebody said they all trash. That's not true. Joe Biden was not trash. I didn't agree with him all the time. Kamala Harris was not trash. I didn't agree with her all the time. But she wasn't a fascist. He wasn't a fascist. This motherfucker right here is a fucking fascist. He's a narcissist. He's a piece of shit. And a nonce who, you know... Anyway, people keep saying they're not going to... they don't vote. Then don't complain. Don't complain to me about a goddamn thing about your life, about your personal life. Don't be my fan anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I never have. I don't know why y'all think this might be like new to you, but I don't care. I just look at what's happening in our country right now, and I just wonder where all the tough folks are. Everybody was so tough before. Everybody was so tough. Everybody was talking about how tough they were and all this. And then we really have like a constitutional crisis. We really have kidnappings happening in our communities. And where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? So no, you not voting, I don't even know why you're watching me. What's the point? My music is political. It's poetic, it's political, it's cultural, it's social. So why are you even listening to my music? Why are you a fan of mine? Dominic Mass says, I want to talk to you, lady. Okay, ask a question. Hi, I'm from LA. What's up, LA? West, baby. That's where I'm from. Thankfully, I'm from Los Angeles, live in Los Angeles, gratefully. Is my tattoo a Thunderbird? This is the tattoo from the No Dapple protests that was going on with the pipeline years ago. I helped support, raise money, and make sure that I spread that message. And in solidarity with those who were on the front lines, standing next to, up against people with, military folk with live rounds. They were claiming they weren't. They were, some of them were. I had people on the ground there saying that they were using IEDs, improvised explosive devices, on the bridges, so that Native communities could not go in to help, or other people could not go in to help and bring them supplies. So yeah, I got this tattoo in solidarity for them. Otep, you got the same reason Trump is really a menace. I got the same. Okay. Hello, Bethany. He's. This is what's so wild about his supporters, right? Is that this fucking idiot right here that paints his face the color of a fucking, I don't know, basketball, for some reason. He's all about white power, white this, white that. But why do you look like that, dude? Why are you trying to put melanin in your skin? You so happy, you so proud to be white. Why are you doing that? To hide your wrinkles, to hide how frail you look, to hide your liver spots. He's a piece of fucking shit. To come back to what? Come back to a genre that never wanted me, to a genre that hated me, to a genre that continues to this day spreads lies, to a genre that overwhelmingly supported and supports this stupid shitheel right here. Like, what? Why would I waste any more creative energy in that genre when all it's going to do is get me further blacklisted by his supporters who own the clubs, who work the clubs, who don't punish bands for doing outrageous things. So let's for example, there was recently there was a this thing going around on Threads. I'm on Threads. If you guys want to find me on Threads, Otep Official is my name. You got to follow me through Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account, sorry, my cords are tangled. But there was, and people. So I got hit up today with a bunch of things. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit because I'm distracted. But sorry about that. Anyway, this dude lost the popular vote twice. Y'all know that, right? He lost it to Hillary. He lost it to Biden. Twice. If it wasn't for the Russians helping him in the first election against Clinton, he would have lost. 3 more million people voted for Hillary Clinton than they voted for this jackass. And people talking about that's a mandate. That's a mandate. That's a mandate. Ain't a fucking mandate. He lost. To Biden, he lost by 8 million votes. And this election was rigged. Elon Musk admitted it. He's admitted it. Tons of people admitted it. All right. Everybody gotta go. Gotta go. Don't want to listen to me talk politics? Go. Bye. See you later. I don't care. And then today, like, somebody hit up, like, you're just, they're still bringing up rumors from like 10, 12 years ago. 1 second. My dog wants to be a part of the live stream. So they saying, oh, you didn't get blacklisted for your politics. You got blacklisted because of how you treated local bands. How is it that I'm able to treat local bands a certain way if you know anything about touring? I don't control who they book. I don't control the clubs. I don't control the promoters, or what they show buyers now, because they don't promote. So they changed their names to show buyers instead of promoters. Because in the beginning, when I first started touring, when you went to a club, the promoter who booked the show had to show you proof, actual physical proof, copies of promoting the show, so that you could put that in your file, send it to your agent, so that they know that they did their due diligence. Instead, now they rely solely on the artist to promote through Instagram, through your social medias, right? Facebook, so forth and so on. But some dude said it's the way you treat local bands. You know what? I've treated local bands with the same kind of respect they've treated me. You're respectful to me and my band, then you're going to get respect. You're disrespectful to me and my band, or anybody in my touring, in the touring company that we tour with, you're going to get disrespected. And I'm not the one that, you don't want to get disrespected by me, because I will hurt your soul. Generations of your people, generations of your bloodline will be insulted forever. Like, they will have that generational trauma in them. You don't want that from me. You don't want that smoke. You just don't. So local bands who get drunk and act like it's their show, act like they're fucking Motley Crue in the 80s, or whatever the fuck sort of fantasy they're trying to live, trying to pick up chicks, being rude to ladies, trying to be ridiculous at the live shows, you know, acting a fool at their merch tables. Yeah, man, you're gonna get. I'm not there to play. I'm a professional. You don't act professional, then don't play my shows. Nobody asked you to play the fucking show. They sell tickets to play on my shows. Just like a lot of these bands who talk shit about me without any proof at all, other than what they type on things, and then people believe it because they want to hate me for whatever reason. Like, they need a reason. Like, oh, that's the reason. I'll jump on that. Half those motherfucking bands that talk shit about me paid me to tour with me multiple times. Multiple times. And if they got kicked off the tour, it's because they knew they knew the tour rules before they joined. And they bought multiple times. They came on multiple tours. They paid me money. They paid my agent money to tour with me. So if I'm so terrible, why do I keep having the same local bands sell tickets so they can play on my show? And they can do that with any band that comes through their area. They don't have to play on my shows. Same thing with these buy-on bands. They don't got to pay my agent money to play on my tour, to tour around with us, but they do. And when they get kicked off because they do something foul, like, I don't know, force somebody under using my name, Otep wants this, which I don't, to force someone that works for the club to go buy them a pound of weed with the dude's baby in the back seat, who's on probation, trying to live his life right, trying to get his life back on right, who's on probation, making that dude go get a pound of weed. I don't smoke weed on tour. And yet, you know, I'm the one that gets in trouble. Or not in trouble, but I'm the one that gets the blame. All right, fine. And then somebody else said something about, oh, you haven't spoken up about the genocide in Gaza. Which this might get me kicked off YouTube, I don't know. But the point is, oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I have. You're just not paying attention. So whose fault is that? Is that supposed to be my fault to go in and, like, educate you every single fucking day of every fucking microsecond of my life to educate you on what I've done? Or should you just do your own fucking research like all you motherfuckers claim to do anyway? So someone on Threads posted this picture, and they said it was an Israeli singer signing bombs that were going to be dropped on children. It wasn't an Israeli singer. It was David Draymond from Disturbed. So I said, that's David Draymond from Disturbed. And when I called out his bias, he was an early supporter of mine. When I first started, he was an early supporter of mine. When I spoke out against him directly, he blocked me. And his management did me super dirty. So no, you know, what are y'all talking about, man? Like, really? And now we have these horrible things happening in our country. And I guess I expected more from people who claim to be my real ones, who claim to be my fans. Don't use that word, man. Who is this? Ruckus something. LOLs, the left is retarded as fuck. I used to be a DJ until I said something they didn't like one time. Good. I hope you got canceled. I hope you living, I hope you're poor. I hope you're hungry. I hope your children starve, you fucking mook. Fucking get this motherfucker off my fucking feed, Brett. The left. Man, fuck you. Yeah, look, hey, why don't you do your own research and see how this country is fared under the left versus the right. It only affects you because you have benefited from the programs and your privilege, because you probably are melanin deficient. And if you're not melanin deficient, then you side with melanin deficient folks for whatever reason. See, the thing that people don't understand about me is I will risk everything for what I believe in. I've done that my entire career. I wanted my beliefs and my actions to unite. I want my actions to reflect my beliefs and my beliefs to reflect my actions. So when I stood 10 toes down on what I believe in during the Iraq War with W, because my brother served in the United States military and died in uniform in the United States military, you think I don't give a... People talking about I didn't love my country. People talking about I was a traitor to the United States because I didn't agree with the president. W? So I wrote Warhead, right? I got booed in my own shows. Now people screaming or used to scream every time I play Warhead, play Warhead. And then thinking that's not political. Have you seen the video? Do you need my glasses? Have you seen the fucking video? So I did. I risked everything. I even was looking back at a video of mine that I recently posted, where I used to have this fool's head, a replica of his head on a mic stand. And then during confrontation, I would just uppercut the fuck out of it. And I even tried to weight it down so it wouldn't fly off too high, but I would get so hyped up and I would just punch the fuck out of it. And it would just fly in the air. And I was watching the band that I was with at the time, and I'm just looking at them, and they're just going through the motions. It was performative. I'm like, resist, and I'm pointing to this side, resist, I'm pointing to that side, and I'm watching them, and they're just like... So, I never really even had, like, people who believed in what I believed in. So, why would I want to put money in pockets of people who don't like me, who blacklist me, who only want my money, or your money, actually? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Somebody posted something, and I don't know. Anyway, so no, I am not coming back to the genre. I gave you 20 years, half my life, and 9 albums, which is more than most artists do in their whole lives. I've toured the world. I've toured almost, I think, all of the lower 48. I was sad I never got to play Alaska or Hawaii, which is Hawaii is one of my favorite places in the world. But so it goes. So it goes. Yeah, 22 years. It's been a long time. Long time of me trying to do what's right, what I think is right. Because I grew up poor. I grew up working class, like a lot of you. And I've never forgot my roots. I never forgot where I come from. I never forgot still, some of my family is still working class. Still, some of them are poverty class. I'm not going to forget them, my family, I'm not going to forget my friends who I grew up with, who are still stuck in that cycle. Because the system is designed to benefit people like him and people that look like me, but not me, right? I actually what I would like is, because I think people really want the message, they just don't like the messenger, which is me. So I would actually want, like, if you have a band and you watching me, start covering my songs, but do it right, okay? It's practice. see what happens. I just, I don't know what it's going to take for people to start realizing what's really happening in this country. There's an old parable about a frog being dropped in a pot, right? So you drop a frog in a pot of boiling water, and I'm a vegan animal rights activist, so this is just for, you know, metaphorical sake. So, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, because I'm almost at 100,000, and I want that plaque. I don't know. I'm silly. Whatever. But your music is amazing. Equal rights, equal lefts is my favorite. Thank you. Slow boil, that's right. So you but if you put a frog in a pot and you just turn the heat up gradually, frog doesn't notice. Frog lulls asleep. Frog starts to go to sleep till he's no longer a frog. And that's what's going on, right? But they're doing it in a way that is, some things are distractions, some things are not. You know, some things are just him just trying to get as much shit as he can. So, I think it's, you know, it's sad for me to see folks, because a lot of these cats are like bounty hunters and shit, because they're not, my family's military, my family's law enforcement. I've been talking to them like, is this what people wear? Is this the right, your vest is only covering like your heart and lungs, but your lower intestine and your bladder are covered? Is that right? Because if, let's say there was someone who, if they really were trying to get into some sort of a pew-pew exchange, I think I'm gonna aim. Is someone in that battle gonna aim where the armor is or where the armor isn't? So they're buying shit off Amazon. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just wearing a chest plate. They're not, you know, their whole groin, lower intestine just exposed. Also, their thigh is not protected either, right? And if you bleed out your thigh, you know, if y'all know, you know. So, how am I doing today? All is well. I'm all right. I just, you know, I got hit up with some negative comments today, and I'm just tired of it. You know, people always ask me why we're tired. Like, if you haven't been paying attention, then how the fuck are you paying? Then how do you not know? How do you not know? How do you not know? Again, just going back to things that people have said about me over the years. Anything done, my band is Otep, my name is Otep. So anything that's really done by anybody in my crew or my band or whatever associated with me, they get in trouble, they do something foul, it says Otep did it, then they automatically assume I did it, when typically I'm never even near the club until it's sound check time or show time. I'm either on the bus asleep in my room in the back of the bus, or I was at the gym walking my dog, that kind of thing. I'm never really there. Everything else, you know, people going inside, eating food, acting fools, whatever, that's not even me. Only time I ever like stood up for myself or stood up for my fans or stood up for my band or stood up for the bands that travel with me was when people were acting fucking stupid. And a lot of local bands are fucking stupid because they, you know, for them, this is, and I get it, like, this is your time, you know, you get to party, you get to fucking play for a national act and all that. Well, behave accordingly, respect the band that you're playing for. You bought them tickets. I know you didn't sell them, but you bought them. So be respectful. And if the other band, if the band you're playing with, if they're doing that, then sure, join in. But if the band that you're playing with, you know the rules ahead of time, because they're always given the rules ahead of time. And they break those rules, and yeah, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. And then, you know, just all this shit, you know. Listen, my pedigree is vast. Right? I spoke at the Democratic National Convention when Barack Obama was first inaugurated, first biracial president in this country, the night that Hillary conceded, gave him her electoral votes. I spoke on behalf of Rock the Vote. I got interviewed by Fox News. I debated that fool on and right outside the DNC. I destroyed him so badly, they never even aired the fucking footage, but I've got photos of it that I've posted before. So, you know, whatever. Y'all can believe what you want, but I got photographs. I was on Def Poetry, HBO, Def Poetry. I was on HBO's Def Poetry. The only rocker that's been on that show. Highlight of my career, truly. One of the highlights of my career. So I'm very proud of that. Going forward, I've done so many things, and yet I still get so much hate. Like if I was in any other genre, the things that I do, the things that I've done, the things that I've accomplished, the things that I've said, I would be elevated, not, and I, with gratitude, and make me want to work harder. But let's someone just mentioned Ozfest in the chat. I'm not reading the whole thing, but let's just mention Ozfest. So when I first did Ozfest, every dude was trying to fuck me, every single one. And I'm like, no, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, you know. We can be cool though, like, bro, tap, blah, you know, we good. Nah, they started like talking mad shit about me and writing like Otep is a cunt on FYE. I don't know if y'all know what FYE is. It used to be a record store, and they had a signing booth where all the bands would sign. And so every band had a chance to sign after they performed. They'd rush you over in golf carts from second stage to the FYE tent. You'd sit down, and then I'd sit down on the same plastic picnic tables that they were using, the fold-out tables they were using, and bands were writing Otep is a cunt, just because I didn't want to have sex with him. And I found out one of them was like a drummer, and I don't even remember the band, and I caught up to him. I was like, yo, dude, you had something to say. We're not in high school, we're like not middle school, we're not, you know, like what? Say it. I'm right here. Say it. He wouldn't say it. And then I go on to tour with other bands, and then the bigger bands than me. There are bigger bands than me, obviously, you know. And respect to them, you know, I guess. But then those bands' management would then contact my managers and tell me that I had to tone it down. My live performance, I had to tone it down because I was showing up and showing out the headliner. And my agent and my manager would both call me and be like, hey, we really need you to do this so that we can stay in good with their agencies, so we can stay in good with their managers. And I'm like, but this ain't about y'all. This is about me. I ain't gonna turn down for, like, who am I? Like, who's that, Lil Jon? Turn down for what? For what? Why should I make myself smaller so you can feel bigger? How about you just elevate yourself instead of doing blow all fucking night and drinking and fucking like, and so you feel like shit the day of your performance, you get a good night's sleep. Rest your voice, rest your hands, rest your body, rest your mind, rest your soul. Relax. So you'll be ready for the show next time, because that's what I do. That's what I did. And so I refused. And what happened? Those bands stopped wanting to tour with me, and those bands' managers who manage other big bands would not let me tour anymore. They wouldn't choose me to tour with them. All because I stood my ground and said, no, I'm not gonna turn down my performance so that you can look better. Meanwhile, you're doing drugs all night and getting drunk and getting crazy and going to strip clubs and shit, and I'm on my bus asleep, not talking to anybody, isolating myself so that my voice can be good for the next show, because to me every show counts or counted. So those managers, those agents stopped booking me. There was a touring festival that came up, and I'm not gonna mention the name of it, but there was a touring festival that came up after Ozfest sort of declined, and every year they would put out a poll, and they'd be like, "What band would you like to see play our stage?" And every time I won. Every time my band was picked. We never even got an offer, not even a shitty offer, not for $50, $500, not even free, nothing. And I would have taken it just to be on that stage, just to show everybody what we do and how we do it, spread the message, let everybody know they're not alone. This is a community. Let's stand together, all that stuff. Somebody said, people don't pick on Otep. She's a wonderful person and performer. Don't nobody pick on me. They try, but they don't pick on me. But I do appreciate your kindness and your advocacy. But anyway, so I actually ended up meeting one of the guys, one of the men who ran the festival. And what happened, it was this. So one of this festival's main sponsors was an energy drink. The energy drink was owned by a man whose father was a conservative radio talk show host who hated gay people. He was extremely homophobic, which means he's probably closeted, whatever. But he would say, like, gay people all deserve to get AIDS. We're all pedophiles. We're trying to get after their children. We deserve to be shot and lined up in firing squads or hung in public squares. And I'm thinking, like, what? What? So fans got mad at me thinking that, because a lot of fans don't know how things work. I don't just get to pick my shows. I don't just get to pick where I show up. I don't get to pick where I go. I don't get to pick where I play. People have to invite me and my band, and then my agent negotiates with them. That's why you have an agent. An agent in California has to be licensed and bonded so that they're legit. Managers don't. I wish that would change, because there's too many shitty managers out there. But because anybody can be, I manage a band, and then what do you know about managing bands? So, so the fans are coming at me pretty hard on social media, like, why have you chosen not to play the festival? Why are you forgetting about us? You know, all this stuff. And so I said, well, we won the poll, but we didn't get an offer, and maybe it's because their main sponsor's owner's father is homophobic, and the guy that is running the tour, that traveling tour, contacted my agent and said, if you either drop Otep or I'm kicking all your bands off the festival. So then I get a phone call from my agent. He's like, hey, I got some bad news. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yo, you know, this guy got wind of what you said about their sponsor, and he thinks you're trying to ruin his business. And so he said, if I don't drop you, then he's gonna kick all my bands off. And I was like, man, you've been in business for like, you were my first agent, and you're gonna let somebody else tell you how to run your business? And he's like, listen, I need the money. So they dropped me. But as fate would have it, I ended up running into another festival that this man was associated with. And when he found out we were playing, he moved us to the local stage. We were supposed to be playing second stage. He moved us to the local stage, and we still killed it. Like, we killed it, man. I mean, there's video of it. If you haven't seen it, it's crazy. Brett was there. I sprayed everybody with fake blood. I mean, it was awesome. So after the show was over, one of the owners came up to me and was like, I'm so sorry, this was a mistake. We should have had you on second stage. We didn't realize what happened. I was like, yeah, it's all right, man. We did our job. We killed it. Don't worry about it. Because our trailer was behind second stage. I mean, everything was set up for us to be on second stage. We were supposed to go there for sound check, and they're like, oh no, you guys are on that stage. So we did our thing. Fuck it, man. You know, we adapt. Survive and adapt. And then after the show was over, I see the old dude who's from the other festival, who's now helping this festival, on a little motorcycle. And he's way too chubby for that motorcycle. I'm surprised he didn't break the shocks on that thing. And I walked right in front of his little pathway, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, you see our show? And he was like, oh, yeah, I saw you. And he's like, we should talk. So I'm like, cool. So I ended up calling his office like a week later. And at first he wouldn't take my call. Then he finally called me back, and he's like, listen, I'm going to be in LA in a couple weeks. We should sit down and have lunch. And I was like, cool, man, just let me know. You know, we can talk about it. Because, you know, if you think that by me saying on social media that the reason why I wasn't chosen for your festival, and he's like denying it. He's like, no, it wasn't because of that. We never even got something from your agent. I know that's not true because I saw the emails. He forwarded them to me. I was like, well, if you think that me posting something, one little thing that's negative, is going to destroy your business. What if you added me to the festival and I promoted it positively? What would it do to your business then? Oh yeah, well, we should talk. Never heard from him. Followed up with him. Never called me back. Never took my message. And that was that. Done. Done. Otep, come back to the metal. Come back to the metal genre. For what? I mean, listen, it was hard to leave. It was like leaving a toxic relationship, you know? When people stay for the kids, right? My devotion to my real ones, to my fans, to my music, to the message, that's what kept me in this genre for so long. It was because I cared. I cared about you guys. I cared about people that would tell me, you know, your music saved my life. And I'm thinking like, but you saved mine. You don't realize that. Like, without you folks supporting me, supporting my music, I don't know where I'd be in this world. So I held a lot of appreciation and gratitude. True, real, authentic. So I stuck it out. Brett saying he was hit with it. Yeah, I sprayed the whole like first 3 rows with this fake blood I had. It was a super soaker. So you know, it's difficult for me to like believe that I should spend any more energy or time in a genre that is like, you know, not really that doesn't want me. You know, that actively engages to erase me or to eradicate me or to like and blacklist me, which they did. Because people, you know, a lot of haters would also be like, "Well, she always headlining. She has headline." Well, I had to headline because no big bands would tour with me because of their stupid managements and their agents, or because they themselves knew that there was never going to be a chance that I was going to go sit in some petri dish hot tub with them and get high and get drunk and all that stuff. You know, that's just not who I am. I'm not that kind of artist. I never was, never have been, never will be. You know, to me it was about living art. To me it was about being an artist and actively pursuing that. And that's all I ever wanted to do. So you know, I think I'm gonna move on eventually to something else. I'm not sure what yet. I'm still sorting that out. And it's difficult because I keep being, there's a part of me that still is like, yeah, I should fucking, you know, it would do my own mental health and emotional health. It would benefit my emotional and mental health if I was able to go out and be on stage every night and, you know, scream my guts out and protest and resist and try to get people, you know, empowered, feel empowered to not feel hopeless right now in this moment of hopelessness, all because of this fucking idiot right there. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. So, but I am trying. What do I have any ideas? Well, mostly it's probably going to be what I mean, before I found what became new metal, I was a spoken word hip hop artist. That's what I was trying to be. And then I met my drummer, Moke, and he could play anything, this kid. He's so talented. He and I are still good friends. We talk all the time. And he found me and he was like, oh shit, you know, he can play hip hop beats, he can play blast beats, he can play metal, he can play rock, punk, whatever. So it was a perfect moment for us to get together. And, you know, he brought in the bass player, Jay, and then I think he also brought in Rob, or somebody else brought in Rob. But anyway, that all happened at the, I think Rob was actually the first person I met, and then, but he got another job to work with, I think he went on tour with Vanilla Ice. Because Vanilla Ice was doing heavy. Ross Robinson had done a heavier version for him. It actually sounds a lot like Korn. It's really good. It's pretty good. I'm not even a Vanilla Ice fan, but that record's pretty good. Yeah. So, you know, it's definitely a difficult decision, but yeah, I'll probably move back into that world. I just got to find where I fit in that world, because, you know, when people hear hip hop, you know, I think immediately they think of like mumble rappers and shit like that. And that's, you know, if y'all know me, you know I'm a lyricist. You've heard Equal Rights, Equal Lefts. You've heard Down. You've heard Battle Ready, Trick, Possession. You've heard Apex Predator. I mean, so you know that, you know what I do is lyrical, right? You know that I do. I'm not really I'm not really a singer. I've never thought of myself as a singer. I never have considered myself that. So it'll probably be something in that world. I just have to find the right people that still make the kind of music that I want to make, which is still my sort of really eccentric style of music, you know, like Ghost Flowers. You know, I remember when I recorded Ghost Flowers, we were in New Orleans after Katrina, and Dave Fortman, who had produced Mudvayne and Evanescence and Slipknot, we were working with him, and he pulled me into the booth. He's like, "Listen, we'd already laid down the music for Ghost Flowers, but he pulled me in, and he was like, before you start singing, I need to let you know the label has contacted me, and they said they want to make Ghost Flowers more formulaic, verse, chorus, outro, whatever, bridge, outro." And so I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not touching that. That's the song. It's written the way it was meant to be written, because, you know, to me, songs write themselves. They come out of, you know, the ethereal realm, you know. We're just conduits, we're filters, artists, we're filters through that, right?" So I was like, "We're not touching it." And he's like, "Well, you need to call the label." So I was like, "I'll call the label, get them on the phone, let's do a conference call." He's like, "I don't want to be on it." I was like, "Okay, fine." So I did, and I called them. I was like, "Hey, I'm not touching that song. What are you gonna do?" They're like, "Well, it was just an idea." And I was like, well, everybody's got ideas, but this is my art, and I was very naive about the music industry when I first started. I was very young. I had no experience whatsoever. So I had to learn really quickly, and I had some good mentors, and I paid attention, and I did sit with folks that were more experienced than I was, and listen to them, you know, elders who had been in the business a lot longer, knew all the obstacles, knew where the pitfalls were, knew what to avoid and what to accept. So in all my contracts, I have creative control. Every single one of my record contracts, I have creative control. They can't take that away from me. So that's what I did. So I guess if I was going to move into another genre, it would be something along the lines of like spoken word, hip hop. Here's my dog. Spoken word, hip hop, but it would be done in my way. And it's difficult to find people that have a similar vision, like that I have in any genre, but especially because it's a different genre for me. I'm going to be starting at the bottom, where I was sort of like, I was like a middle class artist, you know, in the new metal genre. I was like a middle class artist there. So, you know, I'm going to be starting at the bottom, and I don't care. I just want to be happy. I just want my music to reach people that appreciate it. And not be sort of destroyed for lies, deceptions, without even, like, nobody ever even came to me and said, "Hey, did this happen? Did you do this? Did these people do that?" Nobody. So, like, one time we had a tour manager who loved English muffins. And I was on a no-carb diet at the time. So, no English muffins for me. And when you play at a show, the venue supplies you either with money for groceries, or you give them a list and they go out and they buy your groceries. This particular tour, we gave them the list. They went out and they bought our groceries. They bring them back to our bus. That's just so that we have time to set up and do sound check and all that. So it's a kindness that the venues do for us. Some venues, they don't really do it anymore. Typically now they just give you the money and they just tell you to do it yourself, you know. But anyway, on this one particular show, this guy shows up and the tour manager had asked for Thomas muffins. That's a brand, Thomas. And the guy brought store-bought muffins. And this is how silly shit gets, okay? Muffins, okay? No lesbian jokes here, okay? It's just regular ass English muffins. And he saw the brand and he's like, oh, these are for Otep. She won't eat these unless they're Thomas muffins. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you got to go back to the store and exchange these for Thomas muffins. He's like, I don't even think we sell that brand in our area. He's like, I don't care. You either go get it or she's not playing tonight. I never heard of that at all until after the tour. I never heard about it. No one ever came to me about it. No one even brought it up. It was just a joke later in the tour when the musicians and the crew were talking about this particular tour manager who they thought had died a few times because he was mixing alcohol with his heart medication, and he would like fall asleep in the bus driver's chair, which he's not supposed to sit in. But anyway, that's a whole other story. And I'm just like, so that promoter went out and just blasted everybody, like all the other promoters on the tour, everybody. Otep, she's so difficult to work with. She's a diva. She wants English muffins, Thomas. And I'm like, dude, I don't even fucking eat English. I'm vegan. I'm on a no carb diet here. Like, what are y'all talking about? That wasn't me. It was my tour manager. And I had no clue about it because I was at the gym at the time. And now that guy's he moved on from me to being a front of house sound person. Front of house is what we call it. But the sound person doing sound for bands for like huge artists, like, you know, I don't even know some of the names. I know one of them was, I can't remember their names, but they were like stadium arena artists. So he went on from lying on me so he could get his Thomas English muffins. Like, there's a difference. That much difference. to me getting blacklisted. Now, did it affect his career? Nope. Did it affect mine? Yes. So, I don't know. When it comes to having to deal with all that stuff, and then you have to manage, you know, when you're in a band, and luckily I've been lucky enough to for the most part, not everyone, but for the most part I've had good people around me, but they also wouldn't tell me shit. Like, I remember when we played Ozfest one time, we played here in Southern California, out in San Bernardino, San Bernardino as we call it. And I came to visit my girlfriend at the time, because back in Los Angeles, because I haven't seen her in like, that tour was 3 months long, so I'd been home in 3 months. So I came home to see her. Well, while I was gone, the tour manager of that tour took a stripper into my back room and had sex with her on my sheets, on my bed, and everybody knew it. And nobody told me about it. And I slept in them sheets. Boy, when I found out, I was about to murder that dude. But nobody told me till after the tour was over. You know? So the music world is a very difficult place to navigate. Especially when you are someone that people love to hate, and that's me. And I carried that moniker proudly for a long, long fucking time. But there comes a point where it just feels like, you know what, I've done enough. It's time for me to move on. Because the world, that particular genre is cannibalizing itself. It's getting smaller and smaller. It's getting it's not allowing new voices, whereas other genres are, and celebrating those voices who stand up for the working class, who stand up for equal rights for all people. And that's where I would rather have I would rather direct my artistic urges and impulses in that world versus people that think that guy is superior to them. Again, if you don't vote, if you don't stay involved in politics, then you are doomed to be ruled by your inferiors. And if anybody in this live stream thinks that dude is superior to you, then I would please ask you or your family members to get you some mental help, because you have something wrong with you. Maybe a brain scan should check your, make sure all your synapses are firing correctly. Make sure you don't need to be medicated. So, hey, much love from Ireland. What's up, Adam Kennedy? That's hey Kennedy. My family's. I'm an American Irish. My family's from Ireland, and that's one thing that I wish that more American Irish would remember, is that we are victims of colonization ourselves. Right? The British came. They stole our land. They stole our language. They stole our gods. They forced their language, their gods, and stole our land from us. The Great Irish, what they call the potato famine, really wasn't a potato famine. They were just not letting Irish people eat the food we were growing. The English were taking it. And then when children and families were being starved, that's when they decided to take that long boat journey to America. And then when they got to America, they were treated as second-class citizens. See, that's the thing that American Irish, one of the things that one of the greatest bits of propaganda was this idea of white people. Because if you go back, not all white people considered other white people equal, right? They brought their old biases from the old country to America. English hated the French hated the Germans hated the Dutch hated the Irish, everybody. Like you'd look for a job and it would say, job wanted, construction work, no Irish, hotels or places to sleep, no dogs, no Irish, saloons, no dogs, no Irish. But yeah, we're white. We just jump into the white bandwagon, not remembering that our gods are older than theirs. That they Anglicanized a Middle Eastern religion to suit themselves, to empower themselves, so that they then could become the oppressor by saying that your gods are demonic, your gods are evil. Because Yeshua was a Palestinian. He was born, he was a refugee. But Caesar Borgia made all the portraits of Christ look like his son. Look it up. It's real. So that's when he became a blue-eyed, white-looking motherfucker. When he wasn't. But American Irish, why do y'all fall for this shit, man? I guess it's the same reason why you have, like, black folk voting for this fool. Or you have, like, Hispanics voting for this fool. You have Hispanic ICE agents. You have Hispanic bounty hunters who are rounding up people that look like them, that have probably similar experiences and families like them, rounding them up, kidnapping them, and who knows where the fuck they're going. Right now, they're loading them onto cargo planes. A lot of them are those types of planes that, like, paratroopers jump out of. They got the ramp. And some people are saying that they're pushing them people out. Because some bodies are washing up down in Brownsville, Texas, that are bound A lot of people, and then the MAGA people, these fools are here are saying like, oh no, it was a coyote that did it. No, coyotes don't do that. They just kill you in the desert, or they just lock you in the truck that you're in and just let you die in there. The Irish folk, we had our own traditions, our own gods. We had our own mythologies, our own kings, our own lineage, our own queens, and yet we were victims of colonization. And yet you can't make that connection. That the same thing that happened to our ancestors is happening right now to people's that will be people's ancestors. Nope. I'm white. We ain't white. We're pink. Put me in the sun. I ain't got, besides my freckles, I got very little melanin in me. So if I go out in the sun, I'm turning bright red. You know. So the idea that we're just letting this happen because it's not us yet is frustrating for me. You know, I saw somebody like it looked like these bounty hunters. They were like running in and they were like snatching folks up, and they left their car door open, and there were just people standing around. And I'm like, but yet they're getting in trouble. They're getting arrested for trying to help the person, but the car door's open. Jump in the car, drive it off. I mean, what are they gonna do? There's no plates on that car. What are they gonna do? They're gonna arrest you for grand theft auto? I mean, they can't. They can't. Then they'd have to reveal themselves in court. They have to reveal who they are. They're not going to do that. They don't want to do that. And you ain't got to drive it even very far. Just drive and park it, throw the keys in the trash. I mean, so and this idea that people say to me, or they'll write to me like, this isn't America. That shows me that you probably were skipping history class, or you were being taught the propagandized version of history because you haven't really done any real research into the actual history of this country, because we've never been great, ever. From the indigenous genocide to chattel slavery, where we human trafficked people over on ships where they were like laying in bunks where they couldn't even raise their head up because they were trying to cram as many people into the bottom of the ship as possible underneath. And if they hit dead water, they would just throw them overboard. The founding fathers were never, whatever you want to call them that, but okay, founding fathers. They weren't perfect people. They were actually very imperfect, very sort of evil people. They owned slaves. They didn't give women the right to vote, and it still says in the Declaration of Independence, merciless Indian savages. That is real. It's still in there. Now I know that they're not going to go in and like use an eraser and erase that out, but still, there's got to be a way of like saying this shit should not be in here anymore. It also says all men are created equal. Now, some people try to say that means human, but that's not what they meant. They meant white men, white, rich, landowning men. They were just rich wine snobs who didn't want to pay the king taxes anymore. And the other thing about the separation of church and state was because the church at the time had the power to exile even kings. So they didn't want that to happen to them. So of course some of us, through privilege, we're able to take advantage of that, of their own selfish hypocrisies. But the one thing they did that I think was smart, because they were well-read and educated people, they were just evil, is that they allowed the Constitution to be a living document. And that's the reason why we have amendments. We can amend the Constitution. So it is a living document, because as society progresses, some of those things that are the language that's in there from 250 years ago need to be updated, need to reflect the differences in America. and how we've changed as a country. So it was always the promised capacity of liberty and justice for all people. It was the promised capacity that we would finally reach that idea of America, not based on a monarchy, not based on a bloodline, allegedly, right? It was based on an idea. So the idea was we were going to march towards progress. So when he says make America great again, he's not talking about for people like him. Rich, racist, nonsense, who, or short eyes if you're from America, you don't know what that is. So make America great again for who? Women just got the right to vote in 1920. Women had to get a man to co-sign for them to get their own checking accounts, their own credit cards. Their husband had to sign for it. Their husband or their father or their brothers. A man had to sign for it. This was like in the 70s and 80s. Wasn't that long ago. Harriet Tubman was still alive when Ronald Reagan was. That wasn't that long ago. They try to make it seem like it's the past. This is so far away. We have such historical amnesia in this country, and such where this country is supposed to be the best democracy in the whole world, and yet we still have the Electoral College, which is a holdover of slavery days. And yet people don't want to be political. You should be political because you should want to know what the fuck is going on in your community. You should know who your dog catcher is. You should know who the sheriff is, who the local magistrates or judges are, who the district attorney is. You should have a say in all that. Who's on the school board? Who is your mayor? Who's the governor? Who's the lieutenant governor? And what do they stand for? And then if they don't, and listen, Democrat, Republican, MAGA, liberal, whatever, aside, sorry, my jet engine is powering up in the back room. If you consider that being political, then there's a sort of a, I don't know if our paths will ever truly meet. Because you should be involved. You should be informed and involved in your own, at least, because listen, that big, beautiful bill would never have passed if people had paid attention and voted correctly a long time ago. Not even now, just even a long time ago. I don't even want to talk about the last election being rigged and all that, even though this fucker admitted it 6 times and Leon Scum admitted it 4 or 5 times. People were saying, don't do that, you're gonna be blue MAGA. Fuck that, I'm being real. That's legit. That motherfucker stole that election. But either way, you should want to be not political, but active in your own community so you know what's going on. So you don't just believe whatever they tell you to believe. So that you're not just spoon-fed information that isn't even real, that doesn't affect you. Everybody was talking shit about Los Angeles. You don't even live here. You don't even know what's going on. Oh, it's on fire. There's chaos raining, buildings explode. No, it was all happening downtown, which is fucking way far away from everybody in the city, right? Unless you live nearby. But basically, it's pretty fucking far away from us. And it was only around the federal buildings. That's it. That was it. Nobody was looting. Nobody was rioting the whole city. It wasn't nobody running all the way from downtown to Beverly Hills. I mean, it's just not. Or Pacific Palisades or Malibu. They weren't hurting white people. Get the fuck out of here. They were hurting working class folks. Again, these bounty hunters, this frosty Gestapo motherfuckers. Who are they taking? If they really wanted gang members, first of all, they'd be going after these Aryan assholes who were killing firefighters. Or that jackass that that murdered a whole a woman, a Democratic legislator, her husband, and shot her dog 8 times, and then tried to assassinate another family. Why aren't they in Guantanamo? Those are terrorists. And if they're in LA and they really want to go after like gangs, like they're talking about MS-13, why aren't you in East Los? Why aren't you in East Los Angeles? Why aren't you in, why if you're really trying to grab folk, why aren't you going into these neighborhoods instead of going to Home Depot? Instead of going to where they grow our food, harvest our food? Why are you picking up people that work? But now the theory is they're going to say, hey, we had to house you, we kidnapped you, and we held you, and we housed you, and we barely fed you, and barely gave you any water, and barely gave you any medical attention, but you raised enough debt. You owe the United States government hundreds of thousands of dollars, which you have to work off or you have to pay. Do you have $100,000? Nope. Then you have to work it off. That's like a debtor's prison, which we did away with a long time ago. But that's what they want to do. Build this fucking safety cities, or whatever the fuck he's calling them now. You know, build his golf courses, build his whatever. Get free. All these factory farms. They're gonna be able to like not pay. Already they're paying pennies per bushel for food. Now they get free. Now they're gonna get free labor. What's that called? Anybody? Anybody know what free labor is called? When you're forced to do labor for free? Anybody? Anybody? I give you a hint. It rhymes with malavery. There we go. Slavery. That's right. That's what they're looking to do. That's what he wants to bring back. We're talking about an almost 80-year-old man acting like this. No wonder people don't respect their elders anymore. When this is an 80-year-old man up here who's lived a whole life of privilege. Lived a whole life of privilege. That includes doing all these horrible things with Epstein. Because if he had control and he had proof that he wasn't in them files, he'd be releasing them files. But everybody knows he was on them plane. Everybody knows he was on that island. Everybody knows what he was doing to them young girls. He's admitted it. When he owned the Junior Miss USA pageant or whatever, talking about he'd just walk in looking at young girls, underage girls getting naked. Because he owned the pageant. And listen, I don't agree with pageants. I think they're stupid. I don't understand them. I think they force women into a certain status, which is a lower status, but whatever. That's my own opinion. But imagine if you were a parent. Listen, I'll do gender norms with y'all if you want. Okay, men, fathers, brothers, uncles, grandfathers. If you knew that somebody like this was walking in on your underage niece, daughter, granddaughter, cousin, whatever, your underage child, to watch so that he could look at them naked, what would you do? What would you do? I'm not talking about him being president. I'm talking about him just being a rich dude who owns a pageant for young underage girls. What would you do? What are you doing now to women who are being stolen off the streets, kids who are being, they deported a 2-year-old, they put like a 4-year-old in handcuffs the other day. A 4-year-old. While the big dudes just stood around and watched. Man, that's why I never respected that shit. Y'all talking about how tough y'all are and everything, but y'all just letting this happen. What if it's your daughter next? That's what you have to think, because it will be. There's a saying, they come for us during the day, they'll come for you at night. Tim the Enchanter, would it be okay if he put on a wig and called himself a woman? What are you talking about, dude? What does that even fucking mean? Break free from the Talmud? I have no idea what y'all are posting. Y'all just posting random shit in my fucking chat. Oh, is Tim like are you, are you transphobe, Tim? You coming into my chat being transphobe? Oh, let's do it. I'm in the mood. Come on, motherfucker. Come on. Come on, man. Say something else. Tough guy. Come on. See, for me, I've always been strong. A lot of y'all don't, maybe y'all don't keep it up, but I've always been a power lifter. I deadlift 335 pounds right now. I'm a vegan. I'm a natural athlete. I don't take steroids. I don't do any of that shit. I'm also, before I became a singer, I was training to be a professional boxer. So I never really fought women, especially at the time when I was boxing. It was only men, so I had to spar with men. I had to fight men. So I've only fought men my whole life. My whole life, even when I was like a little kid, had a really abusive protein donor, and I'm 4 years old standing up to what looks to me like a giant. You think I'm fucking scared of any of y'all? So, you know, I ain't never been one of the people that believe like, oh, what will you do without men to protect you? Protect us from who? Protect us from who? What do women need protected from if there was no more men? What do we need you for? Who's gonna protect us from what? Tim. Dude's name is Tim. There's only one Tim I like. But Tom. Some jack. No. We're gonna let that. Some dude put in there, protect from my dick. Protect from your dick. Dude, come on, man. You know it's, come on. I got bigger ones in my bedroom. I bought them too. Some of them do things yours can't. And I bet yours is. See, dudes that always talk about their dicks or their balls or whatever. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, y'all like grown ass men, I guess. Still talking about your dicks. Like, you don't think women know you have them? You don't think that biologically we know you have them? Like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Protect you from your dick. Man, y'all are so fucking fragile. That's why I hate when people say pussy as an insult, right? They say, oh, pussy, you're a pussy, meaning you're weak, you're scared, you're fragile, whatever. No, when pussies are one of the most strong, probably the strongest organ on the human body, right? The things that you can do to it, the things you can do with it, the things that actually happen to it, like during birth. We should start using testicle as an insult, because when the wind blows, you motherfuckers are ducking. When your cat jumps in your laps, you're like, oh my god, these fucking weak ass motherfuckers. Y'all are weak. Where did I grow up? I grew up right fucking here, man. West Coast, Los Angeles. Protect you from my, that's some funny shit. Why, you got STD? Because I don't, yeah, we need protection from that. I bet you probably do. Probably do got STD. This asshole's fucking funny. I gotta move to Texas. Why? Why would I ever move there? Not until y'all vote out Greg Abbott, not his and your attorney general. Fuck that shit. Greg Abbott, somebody just, hey, listen, I'm no ableist or anything, but somebody, I wish they would just wheel that motherfucker into the Gulf of Mexico. Just, oh, sorry, bro. Thought you had brakes on that motherfucker. He's an evil person who hurts his own kind. You know, y'all know how Governor Abbott got hurt? Why he's in that wheelchair? He was jogging through his neighborhood, and a tree limb fell on him, broke his back. So he sued his neighbor, got really wealthy. Then when he became a lawyer and a judge, he fought against people doing the exact same he did against his own neighbor. That's what you call a hypocrite, okay? That's what you call an evil fucking human being who is denying other people in his situation the same privileges that he received just because, you know, he's in the pocket of these big money. Which album would I say describes me best? I don't know if there's an album that describes me best. I don't know. It's been 9 albums over 20 years, so I've grown. I'm not the same person I was when I wrote Savage Tra, House of Secrets, on and on and on and on. I'm not the same person, so I don't know. There's not one right now, for sure. I think there are certain songs that I'll always live by. If you want to think of a song that probably best describes me, it would be Equal Rights, Equal Less right now. I'm trying to read some of the comments. I can't read them. Oh, we got more. How do you feel about libraries hating on gun owners? How are libraries hating on gun owners? Did I read that, or liberals? Did you mean liberals? Libraries hating on gun owners. Am I talking? This is a mistake. This is fucking, oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to pick on anybody that's like special needs or something. So if you're special needs, like, you know, let me know so I don't just like annihilate you. Libraries in Texas, I can bring a 45 to the library. Well, ain't that great? Because you're gonna need a 45 in the fucking library just in case all those books decide to shoot you. Gun, like, first of all, a lot of y'all think that liberals don't own guns. Well, y'all are sadly mistaken. We're just not like worshiping them at the feet of them, or we're not afraid of everybody, so we feel like we got to carry like 12 of them all the time. Now, if I lived in Texas as a liberal, I would conceal carry for sure, because there's gonna be some motherfucker that rolls up on me, and I'll be the wrong one. But I don't know about taking a gun into a library, unless you're like me and you need it for safety. But otherwise, like, why do you fucking need a gun in a library? That's fucking crazy. I take my AR-15 into church. I take it to the prenatal unit when my child's having a baby. I usually, I carry 22, 25 automatic. Just, make sure that, ain't no funny business, no terrorist attack in the maternal ward of the hospital. I mean, my God. This is why America's fucked. We're fucked. Look at these people. It's terrifying how constantly on edge you guys in America have to be at all times. My heart goes out to you. Otep, what's your favorite tattoo? My favorite tattoo? I don't know. I have so many of them. I have some least favorite tattoos for sure. But I don't really have any favorites, I don't think. Yeah, well, again, if I lived in a red state, I would conceal carry. And again, like, y'all are fucked up. You don't think liberals can own guns, know how to shoot guns, have been trained by, our family members who've been in the military, or law enforcement officer, or been in law enforcement, who are range masters, been to the FBI weapons training school, who are sharpshooters. Wrong. But to me, like, that's the easiest way to do it. Like, just pop, pop. But to me, I'd rather pop, pop. So, that's just me though. I really enjoy that feeling. There ain't nothing like it. Just that feeling of your just that slap and that power, and watching all this flesh move to one side and then bounce back. It's I don't know, it's a little addictive to me. What music have I been enjoying right now? I've been listening to a lot of Doechii, a lot of Kendrick, Started listening to, I listen to a lot of like classics. Well, I guess it's classical music now. Like Radiohead, early Radiohead, Nirvana, Otis Redding, started listening to Fleetwood Mac again, but just a couple, like The Chain, I like that song a lot. But I listen to a lot of blues and jazz. But yeah, mainly Doechii and Kendrick are my two. GNX is like fucking genius record. Love that record. I've listened to, like, I know who Tori Amos is. I listen to Tori. I like what she stands for more than I like her music, and that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean, you know, I'm not hating on her. I just like it. There's a lot of bands that are like that. I'll go see them, and I'll be like, oh, they're great. They sound so much better live than their records. And that's also something that I would really like, you know, as far as now that I fully control what I want to do with my music, is that, you know, I want to preserve that live, the rawness of a live show, over you know, the more polished production of like a record. Let's see. I'm missing out. Okay, what else? Brett, what do I think of Sky Daddy? I've only heard like a couple of the songs. I know that she did a rap about women's rights like a few years ago, and I really like that. So if you guys know who Sky Daddy is, check her out. She's pretty rad. She's good. I don't like her singing as much as, I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not really into that style of singing. You know, no disrespect, but like the Warped Tour style is what I call it. But that kind of singing like shit, I don't really dig that. But her like hip hop, like her rapping, rhyming, whatever you would call it, is good. But she's great. She's a great artist. Sorry, reading comments. Have you heard of Ren? They do a lot of political, social commentary and rap like Kendrick. No, I haven't. I'll check them out. Thank you. Just want to stop by and say you guys are awesome. Thank you. Hey, you guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. If I get, I'm at 90, almost 94,000 subscribers. If I get to 100,000, they send me a plaque. I want the plaque. I'm petty. I'm bougie. I want a plaque. Let's see. Wasn't there a female vocalist from a band called Anchor something? I don't know. Kendrick talks about being a black savior, but then sold out to the Super Bowl, which is owned by rich old whites. Nope. No. Given an opportunity to use his platform. Oh, I got 96.3 subscribers. Thanks, Brett. That's false. Kendrick Lamar is far from anything from a fucking sellout. And I hate when people use that term sellout. Like what? He's just supposed to play Little Clothes forever? Somebody offers you the opportunity to play the fucking Super Bowl, you're not going to play it. So everybody that plays the Super Bowl is a sellout? Even your favorite team, that's a sellout? When they play that game, they play football, they got sponsors. AT&T, whatever, like, you know, SoFi Stadium, like what? It's fucking idiotic. Bro, like he didn't get paid. So what? He should get paid. Who shouldn't get paid? Like artists shouldn't get paid for their work? Are you an artist? Do you do free work? What do you do for a living? I'd like for you to do something free for me. Would you do it? What do you do for a living, V? What do you do for a living? He used his platform to promote injustice and black excellence, and I applaud it every fucking time. You're an EMT. Okay, so do you volunteer your services for free? V is an EMT. Do you volunteer your services? You got all this, you have all this shit. You have all this stuff to say about a genre you don't know nothing about being an artist you don't know nothing about. Who's your favorite football team? You boycotting them? You don't like sports? What kind of sports you like? You like soccer? You like football? You like basketball? Every single one of them people playing in sports arenas that are owned by billionaires, that are owned by corporations. You watch fights. Okay, so none of the fighters you like, UFC, boxing, whatever, they don't have advertisements on their trunks. They're not standing. They're not fighting in a ring that has product placement. Are you see? This is bullshit, man. Bullshit. You don't know nothing about nothing, but yet you're eagerly stupid, and you're arrogant. Your arrogance is almost invincible, because you want everybody to stay at a certain level because you think that's selling out. What is fucking selling out? People call me a sellout for a lot of reasons, and I ain't never sold out for nothing. Selling out for what? Because I got paid? Artists supposed to work for free? Yeah, that's right. He picked the wrong one. Motherfucker EMT talking about I sell out my shows. Yeah, thanks, B. I do sell out. I sell out my shows. But the dude's an EMT. Hey, respect what you do. I hope you're not this horrible to people that you actually help. But you trying to talk about Kendrick's trash because he played the fucking Super Bowl and did it in his way? Still got paid. So what? He's supposed to get paid. He's an artist. He's in the music business. Artists get paid. Where did anybody get? Did Picasso ever paint one fucking thing that he didn't get paid for? Nah, he's not trash. Just went to go dance for them people. Man, get the fuck out of here. That ain't even discourse. That's just a stupid fucking opinion. He went and danced for who? White people were so fucking pissed off about that. And yet, you hating on him. Get the fuck out of here for Kendrick playing the Super Bowl. Lil Wayne wanted to play the Super Bowl. Is he sell out too? Before Snoop Dogg with MAGA, dude crip walked on the Super Bowl. That was fucking stupid. Man, some of y'all are just silly. Y'all just silly. You're not even a serious person. You're not a real serious person. I can't believe you're an EMT. I hope you don't work in Los Angeles, I hope I never need your help, or anybody that I know needs your help, because I would never want them having somebody like you help them, because that's some fucking crazy shit. Artists don't even get paid, but pennies on the dollar for performing at the Super Bowl, a minimum contract, which is a fraction of what they would command at a live show. That's true too. That's true too. That's real. Prince played the Super Bowl. Was Prince a sellout? Crazy motherfuckers. Probably one of the best Super Bowl ever. It rained and he played Purple Rain. Like Kendrick earned that. And he didn't change one motherfucking thing, except he didn't say the N-word or something, but he didn't change one fucking thing. He still did everything he did everything that he was supposed to do. Get out of here. Picasso was a dick. Yeah, it was, but I'm just saying, like, where this idea came from that artists are supposed to work for free is ridiculous. That we're not supposed to rise as high as we can is ridiculous. Especially if you're using your platform for good. Like, if he got up there and was like, changed his whole everything, was wearing a MAGA hat, then yeah, okay, I'd agree with you on that. But the fact that I know he literally played A minor. I mean, he really played the diss song, the Drake diss song at the Super Bowl. Yet here he is, this dude talking about sellouts and shit, and yet he watches fights, which fights are one of the most corrupt businesses, sporting businesses on the planet. You think any one of them fighters, except for the shit they wore on their trunks, You know, they're like NASCAR and shit. Like they gotta wear patches and stuff. Like is the WNBA sellouts because they're not paid enough. The NBA does not profit share with them enough, so they have to wear like who sponsors their team on their jerseys. Are they sellouts? Otherwise, there wouldn't be a WNBA. And there you go. There you go. Now we're talking. There we go. Now we're getting some intellectual conduct. Anyway, y'all subscribe to my page. Y'all, come on, give me some love. I want to get that 100,000. I want that plaque. Wilderness. Even though your music is American-centric, have you ever considered playing abroad? Where are you from? Where are you from? Because I've played other countries. I've played in Europe. I've played in South America. All the way Mexico to Chile to Brazil. I've played all over Europe, so I don't know what you are referring to. I played Australia. Thank you, Brett. I need 3,000 more. Come on, y'all. 3,000 more. The WNBA shows women can't stand on their own 2 feet. Says Pierce. The Germs. Your name is Pierce the Germs? You chose that name? You literally chose Pierce the Germs as your name? Okay. Can you play basketball? I challenge you to pick any WNBA player. Please. Get one of your boys and go one-on-one with her. Please, anybody. Caitlin Clark, anybody. Just play one-on-one. Get the fuck out of here with that fucking shit. Women can't. No, it's not. It's because of people like you who believe that women can't. That's why. And listen, they've even offered to lower the, because women they're getting taller, right? They're learning. See, what people don't understand, socially and culturally in America, typically women have not been taken to basketball courts and things when they're in like recess and childhood. That's boys. Boys are like that, and they're playing kickball or whatever, but they're playing football, they got little leagues and they got this. Women don't really have that. So not until they get into like middle school do they start learning the basics of basketball in high school, college. So they have to build up to it. But they even offered to lower the rim to 9 feet instead of 10 feet. And the players in WNBA said, no, we don't want to be treated any differently. I'd be like, yo, lower that shit 9 feet. I'd be dunking and fucking doing all that. Oh, here we go. Pierce Germs. Any men's college and university team absolutely wrecks the best WNBA team any day of the week. Pierce the Germs with his amazing intellectual takes because he has proof. You got proof of that? You got proof of that? You got proof of that? Anything? Any proof? No? I bet the best female basketball player in high school could trash you any fucking day of the week, fool. Brett, I'm really tired of Pierce the Germs poisoning my live stream. Get him the fuck out of here. Take that with you, Pierce. Pierce. Ain't nobody that I respect named Pierce other than Pierce Brosnan. Anybody else named Pierce? Out. Thank you. I don't know. People are fucking stupid. Like, really. The sexism is blatant even in a YouTube live stream. You can't get away from it. So let's talk about sexism just for a second. So when there is a serial rapist or serial killer on the loose, Why do they tell women to stay inside? Not the men. Because it ain't the women doing the raping. So if you made all the men curfew, and any man you caught out after curfew could possibly be your suspect. But no, the responsibility is always placed on women. Just like reproductive rights. A man, if he's fertile enough and able enough, can impregnate a woman every single day of the week. Women only have 1 baby a year. But we're the ones with the responsibility of having our bodies legislated. Name one fucking law that legislates a man's reproductive rights. Name one law. Name one law. Meanwhile, they're taking birth control off and IUDs out and all this shit, but yet they're still paying for fucking Cialis and Viagra and all that. Listen, if it's God's work and your dick is limp, then ain't that God's work? What you doing? You going against God. Your God, not my God. But it's true though, the hypocrisy is astounding, and we as a public, we as a society, just accept it. Oh, well, we're protecting the women. No, you're not. You're controlling the women while allowing the men to run free and rape and maim and do all their destructive habits while punishing women. Women got to be in after curfew. Women got to stay off the streets. Women got to do this. Women got to do that. When it's the men that's doing it. Why not mandatory vasectomies? I've been calling that for years. Mandatory vasectomies for boys of reproductive age, and they can do it with lasers now. It's reversible, so that they can't get anybody pregnant. Why not do that? Why not? It'll be easier for y'all dudes. It'd be like ain't no child support, right? You ain't having to worry about any of that stuff. Man, no. Punish the women. Always punish the women. Taco Telegram. I don't know what that means. That means Trump. Unless... Yeah, all right, yeah. It disrupts the patriarchy, and we can't have that happen. No, we can't, apparently. But we can, and we should. Fuck that. We should. We absolutely fucking should. Because it is ridiculous that when you have a time of crisis where women are being attacked, that you instead put the punishment on them, curfews on them, when the men are out running around and he's able to hide amongst the innocent good people, good dudes. He's able to hide among them. Well, instead, they should be putting a curfew on all men who meets their suspects between 18 and 35, whatever he's supposed to be, white guy, whatever. You out after curfew, then you probably the dude is doing it. Do I care about the sexism and oppression of women by Islam? Do you care about the girls in the UK that have to deal with constant fear of immigrants and their... Y'all just trying my temper today, boy. Woo! Okay, what do I feel about Islam? I don't like any of the Abrahamic religions. I'm not a fan of any of them. I think they're all false. I think first of all, they were all oral traditions. They were written down like 80 years after they all happened. Second of all, there's 4 different gods in the Old Testament, which is the original book that was sort of changed from original Jewish text. But so Yahweh, he whose name we cannot speak, Jehovah, yet they were all different gods from the different tribes who all believed in the same thing, and they amalgamated them into one. Who the fuck was Leviathan? A giant snake? That's in the Bible. That Jehovah kills a giant snake. A giant snake? Wow. Well, he must be a very powerful God if he can kill a giant snake. My God's older than your gods. Women who live in constant fear of Islam. I don't know about that because I don't live in the UK, but I would like to look at the numbers of white women in the or let's say Melanin deficient, I will just say fucking white just because that's what y'all associate shit with. Let's say I would like to see how many white women are raped by Christians, male Christians, versus how many people are raped by or attacked by Islamic men. And you know there's white Muslims, right? You know that, right? That was the whole, if you knew anything about shit, but you don't know shit, so you talk, all you do is talk shit since you don't know shit. The reason why the reason why there was the war in Serbia, because they I mean, oh my, oh. There's white Muslims. There's whole countries of them. I'm taking about Islam. What about Islam? What about it? What about it? What do you want? What are you talking about? I don't like any of the Abrahamic religions. I've already answered that question. I don't like them. I don't agree with any of them. In the beginning, Christianity did the same fucking thing to women that Islam does to women. Do you not know that? Do you not see old photos ever of women covered from neck to fucking ankle to wrist to ankle? Because they had to be covered. They had to wear bonnets and shit in public. They had to be escorted by white men in public. You don't remember that? Who was it that did all the lynchings in this country? Emmett Till was murdered. 14-year-old boy. Because a white woman lied that he winked at her or some shit, like smiled at her. White Christians did that. Talk about who committed the biggest genocide that I would say the biggest genocide in at least American history. Christians did it. It still happens today to girls by Islamic men. Yeah, it still happens today by Christian men. So what? All these Abrahamic religions need to go the way of the fucking dodo, man. They need to be fucking eradicated. They need to be they need to go. It's what purpose do they serve anymore? You read the fucking Bible and they talk about birds having 4 legs and a talking snake and an evil apple. I mean, what the fuck are y'all even talking about, man? You picking on one religion because of that? Yo, I don't agree with any of it. I don't agree with arranged marriages. That happens. That trad wives here in America, Christian wives, that shit happens. Let's stop trying to compare. The same. Christianity's older than Islam. And yet they've done horrible fucking things. Residential schools, boarding schools in this country, chattel slavery was all legalized based on biblical verses that the beasts in the fields of Cain, that wore the mark of Cain, which means that they were supposed to be black. Well, that's how they were able to convince people that slavery was legal. Fucking Hitler claimed to be a Christian. Not all Muslims are evil people. I don't agree with their religion. I don't agree with their beliefs. But not all Muslims are evil people, and that's just a fucking stupid thing to say. You keep bringing it back to white Christians. Yeah, because it's stupid. What your question is fucking stupid and biased and bigoted and it's racist, and I don't fucking... You're missing out on a whole other part of it. It's not just Islam doing horrible shit to people. So why don't you care about that? Why do you only care about Islam? Why? Oh yeah, oh I'm sorry. Excuse me for forgetting that how many priests raped little boys. I wrote a song called Adam to Adam based on what happened to 200 deaf boys who were molested by the same priest. Could not tell anybody because no one knew sign language. And when the Catholic Church found out about it, they moved him to another fucking school for deaf boys. They've made it a fertile land for pedophiles to enter into and say, listen, all we got to do is do the fucking sign of the cross and we can have as many little kids as we want. I mean, this fucking thing, like, this obsession with Islam is like, you know what? Yeah, we got extremists here, but we got Christian extremists in America. The dude that just killed two or assassinated a Democratic lawmaker and their dog, by the way, shot him 8 times. Then, and that's a big thing for me because I'm an animal rights activist. And then tried to assassinate another family was one of his fucking followers who claimed to be a Christian. The dude that murdered 2 firemen on the anniversary of the fire department mowing down an Aryan compound in Idaho was a Christian. So your whole worrying about Islam is unfounded when when things are done in Jesus' name. Get the fuck out of here. Christianity's older. It's been around a lot longer. They justified the colonization and the genocide of Native Americans, indigenous people all around on the world with the missions and everything else in the name of their Messiah. And you worried about Islam. We should be worried about all of them, extremists in all of them. I'll tell you something. For me, I'll be more afraid. Well, not afraid, but I would be more uncomfortable sitting in a room of Christians than I would in a room of Muslims, or at least equal, probably. Any religious peoples I wouldn't deal with. That's why I don't give a fuck about, like, everybody talking shit about Scientology. Why? Jehovah's Witnesses are way worse than fucking Scientology when it comes. There's more members. When it comes to cutting people off, when it comes to doing all that shit, they're way worse. Sorry. I've lost much respect for you, Jazz says. Aw, how will I ever sleep at night? Oh my God. Jazz has lost respect for me. Oh my, what am I gonna do? Oh my, I need to call my mother. I should get there. I need to get, oh my God. Dude, fuck this. Take that with you right there. Take this with you. Take it with you. Fuck off. Your mother should have swallowed. Jazz. With 1 Z. I can't even fucking spell your name right. You're gonna steal your name from a musical genre created by black people, and you can't even spell it right. Get the fuck out of here, man. Jazz. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Jazz doesn't like me. Like, these people, burn my music. If you don't agree with me, burn my music. Like, if you have the CDs or my merch, burn it. And send me the video. And I'll get high watching it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Erase all my MP3s. Talk as much shit as you want about me online. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are stupid. Introspective Tony Soprano. You make music? I did. Yeah, I did. Introspective Tony Soprano. Wow. So that's an interesting name. You a Sopranos fan? Maybe I should start a religion about make Tony Soprano our god. I'm looking. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the quotes. So, you know, anyway, I don't care. I don't care if you lost respect for me. I never, if you hold those beliefs, I don't respect you. I don't. How can I? How can I? When your thinking only goes so far, like you can't look at you have you're focused solely on your bigotry and you're biased, that you don't study history, you don't know the history of Christianity, you don't know the fact that right now, I walk outside, I go down someplace where there's a lot of people, a lot of tourists, there's street preachers there, ain't no Muslims down there. There's street preachers that are Christians who are telling me I'm gonna burn in hell because I'm a lesbian. Telling me that one dude almost got lumped the fuck up one time because I had my god kids with me and he told me that I was raising demons. And boy, man, that was about it for him. Because my boys, they tough like me. Maybe tougher, stronger, you know. At that time, at least, they were probably right around the same strength I was. They're all college athletes. And they was about to lump that fool up, and so was I. So fuck that shit, man. I mean, the idea that people don't look at all the other religions and say like, ooh, that shit's crazy, that shit's crazy, that shit's crazy. You don't even know the history of the world. You don't know the history of the religions. You just focused on your bigotry. So, you know. Hi, everybody. Yeah, opening with the masses, right? Yep. Well, Karl Marx thrown in there. Nice job, nice reference. Hey, if you're just now joining us and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube. I need only about less than 4,000 followers, and I can get a plaque from YouTube, which I really want, because I'm petty and bougie. I want my plaque. I've earned it. Let's see. Nobody's upset, but if you're going to be online, you're opening yourself up to differing opinions and debate. I know. Wow, really? Did you just mansplain to me what going live is on social media? Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that by going live on a social media platform that other people would have differing opinions than mine. Jeez, thanks for telling me, because I had no idea. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Man, get the fuck out of here. Oh my God, dude mansplaining to me about how to be, what? Oh. Y'all are so small. You're so small. Oh, I'm a woman and it was a response to another comments made, not you. Okay, well, I don't know that if you don't at them. So, and your name is Introspective Tony Soprano, so, but, anyway. Yeah, don't come at me, y'all. Don't come at me. Do not come. Because if you do, you're going to get your feelings hurt. You ain't going to hurt my feelings. I'm Tony Stark up in this bitch. I'm Ironheart, baby. Can't fuck with me. I'm armor plated. See, first of all, for me to give a fuck about what a hater has to say about me, that means I have to have no self-esteem whatsoever, and that's not true. I have plenty. So, but I do apologize for going in on you, Introspective Tony Soprano. I didn't realize you were speaking to somebody else. If you do that, at somebody so that I know. Grandma's peach tea? No, this ain't it. That's just water and cranberry juice. Gotta get my vitamin C, and I don't really like orange juice or lemonade, so that's what it is. Also, it's good for the throat. It's good for the throat. Anyway, y'all, I guess this is coming to an end now. I've been doing this for a minute, so. Oh, they still trolling? Thanks. If we're talking about opinions, while I absolutely love your music and understand all the rage, not all the problems can be saved with fists. That's the only thing I disagree with, being a pacifist. Well, there's a fist and pacifist, right? Okay, but beyond that, what did I say that all problems can be? Did you get that impression? That I was saying all problems can be solved with fists? I think that there can be some people that need to have like their brains readjusted, and I'm really good at realigning that. But more than anything, I think discourse and education are more important than knuckling up. But if somebody comes to me physically, they gonna get lumped up. I argued with the fool at first. That street preacher, I guess, is what you are talking about, referencing. I'm assuming. I tried to argue with him because first of all, they made a list and it had like all the different things you're gonna go to hell for. They misspelled lesbian. They misspelled Buddhism. They misspelled yoga. So I was telling him, like, listen, people would probably take you more seriously if you use spell check. He didn't like that. And then he kept in on me about the hate. And I tried at first. I was like, listen, do you know if you actually spoke about the love of Jesus Christ and how that Jesus loves all people and through Jesus your sins will be forgiven and all this, instead of being like hate, devil. So what are you like? Are you work? Because if you let's do this. We're gonna do it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Bible. Who flooded the earth? Who flooded the earth? Was it the devil? Who murdered, if we're to believe that fucking stupid story, which is actually based on an ancient Sumerian story, but I won't go into that right now. But if we're supposed to believe that fucking stupid story, that he was able to get every animal 2 by 2, including marsupials from Australia, he was able to he really got all them over there. Every virus, every bacteria, he was able to get all those on board as well. He was able to find animals from North America, South America. Really? Okay. So let's believe that. Then he murdered the entire planet. He drowned them. So who did that? Was it the devil? Or was it God? Who made a wager? Who was the one that accepted a wager to destroy another man, Job, by having him lose everything, his children, his wife, his land, his wealth, lost everything, got sick, his health, all on a bet, a wager. Who took that wager? And who did all those horrible things to him? Yep. Who told a certain, I don't remember the dude's name. Cause see, you gotta understand this too. Like a lot of the old names were replaced with Greek names, so they sounded white, right? Right. So like Peter, Paul, all that. Like Jesus is his Greek name. His real name is Yeshua. That's his Greek name. The King James Bible, which was translated from an earlier version, Old English, which was translated into Greek from Aramaic and all that stuff, right? All the Latin down to all that. So rewrote it. King James himself was bisexual. They didn't teach y'all that though, did you? Nope. Who sent a plague to kill the firstborn of every Egyptian just because they allegedly were enslaving Hebrews? If this all-powerful God, couldn't he just like come down and be like, hey down there, I'm very large, let these people go or I'm gonna step on your pyramid? No, he just killed all the firstborn children, babies, killed babies. Who did that? Was that the devil? Was that a pagan god? Was it the Muslim god? I mean, he'd have to be, right? He'd have to be really big, right? He's a guy. Step real carefully on the earth. Sit down on the pyramid. Well, he probably might like that. I don't know. But anyway, fucking monkey. Like, come on, man. I was almost going to call everybody monkeys, but monkeys, I think, got more sense than some of these fools in here. When am I going to do a song with the band Kitty? When I start voting for that fucking idiot. No, I will. Why would I want to do a song with that fucking band? Ew, gross. Nah. Not happening. Never. And I'm sure they don't want to do a song with me either. So ain't no love lost. We toured together. We had our issues. You know. But nah, I ain't doing that shit. Pyramids are like pineapples to God. Yeah, sit and swivel on that pyramid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? So, and again, let's go back to that. So if we're supposed to all be the children of Adam and Eve, but then we get wiped out, who repopulated the earth? Noah. So that means we're actually the children of Noah and his incestuous clan, because it was just him and his wife and children. And so we're all products of incest, allegedly, if you believe that shit. So we're all products of Noah, not Adam and Eve, because he wiped them out. Do I like L7? Fuck yeah, I do. What happened with Kitty? I don't want to bring it up. I just don't like them, and they don't like me, so it's fine. I don't need them to like me, and they don't need me to like them, so I just don't like them. There's a lot of bands I don't like, anyway, I don't want to talk about that. Inbreeding explains a lot. Yeah, it does. Greetings from Turkey. You Americans have chosen a man like the bigot in our minds. I wish you luck in life. Well, hey, I agree with you, but the dude that's running Turkey, he ain't much better. So don't be coming in here like trashing America. First of all, we didn't elect this fool. He rigged the election. Second of all, he's lost 2 other elections by the popular vote. He only won by the Electoral College in the first time because that's a relic of slavery, and the Russians helped him. And your country's friends with the Russians, so don't talk about it here. Do I like ginger? Love ginger. Absolutely love ginger. And if Tatiana ever asked me to do a song with her, I would jump at the opportunity. I think they're amazing. I absolutely do. Yep. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read. I also, you think about this Noah thing, right? Like, where'd they get the food from? If the world was what about the fish? I bet that's who they thought. They were like, fuck yeah. Fish were like, fuck yeah. All sea life was like, this is fucking rad, man. Let's just fly. We can swim into the buildings that's left over. We can make colonies in there, only to have it just go away 40 days later. Like, it rained for 40 days and covered the entire planet? The entire planet? Or was it just a regional flood that occurred in a very small place with very few people in a time? Again, this is based on a Sumerian myth that actually might have happened. Okay, there could have been a regional flood. This man built a little raft. He put his animals on it. Probably was just like donkeys and some goats and shit and like that. And he probably just floated down river. That's all. The lions didn't just eat the goats. I'm saying, like, what? Like, how did they do that? Where did they get the meat to feed the carnivores? Where did they get the plants to feed the herbivores? You telling me so for the Christian folks, they're gonna say, well, then God just calmed everybody down. But see, if you go back and you read the earliest versions of Genesis, Adam's first wife was not Eve. First companion was not Eve. It was Lilith. And Lilith was made to be Adam's equal. Allegedly, Adam was made of the earth. Eve was made of star stuff, and together they were supposed to be equal. But Adam was such a horny little fucker. He wanted just fuck all the time. And meanwhile, Lilith was like concerned about the little baby animals that were being orphaned and being hurt. And also, when they did want to fornicate, want to, you know, have sort of nuptials, intercourse, copulate, she said, sure, but you're not going to be on top of me and you won't be behind me. We can figure out another way where I can either be on top of you or you can be behind me or like or on our sides or whatever, but you're not going to dominate me. And he was like, no. So she's like, all right, I'm going to go down by the river and I'm going to help out these orphan animals and save them and all that. So then that's when the angel went back up to God, and this is true. You can read about it. I'm sort of making fun of it a little bit, but it is in the earliest versions of the Bible. You go there and you can read it for yourself. And an angel went to God and said, hey, you got to do something about Adam. He's like this guy. He's fucking all the animals and shit, and we need him to stop doing that. And so then God said, all right, well, go there and tell Lilith she's got to go back. And the angel went down, told Lilith, you got to go back. She's like, I ain't going back. And he's like, but you got to. She's like, but I'm not. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go back to God. God goes, we go back to God. And God's like, all right, fine. I'm going to take one of his ribs and I'm going to make a woman out of it. And then there's some people that still believe that men have one less rib than women. Even though you can see an x-ray. So, then Lilith is made from Adam, of man, woe man. And then Lilith is turned into a demon when she wasn't. She wasn't a demon. But these are all just fucking stories, man. They're parables. They're meant to teach us things. They're not, these weren't real people. I don't believe the Abrahamic devil is real, right? I'm not a Satanist. Is that for me? If it's I don't know. Again, if y'all are talking to somebody else, please at them so I know. Do I believe in the Abrahamic religions? No. Do I believe in Satan? No. Am I a Satanist? No. Because then I would have to acknowledge that that's real. But if, again, going back to the Bible, that's not, Satan was a word used for evil spirits, was not directly associated with Lucifer, the morning star, the most beautiful thing that God had ever created, right? He was the most beautiful thing God ever created and revolted because of humanity. Thought that God was paying too much attention to humans. It was like, yo, we got to get out of here. This dude's, he don't care about us no more. So no, it's not the same. They just amalgamated it and just coagulated it all into this mess, so that Satanism and Satan is the same thing as the devil is the same as Lucifer. When in fact, if you go back and you look at the earliest ideas of that, it looks a lot like Pan, who was a satyr in the Greek religion, which predates Christianity, which predates Judaism. Satyrs were horned, had hooves, and were partners to the god Dionysus, who was also a resurrection god, possibly one of the first, him and Osiris from the Egyptian religion. And Oedipus was the, I'm sorry, Oedipus, that's a whole other fucking story. So Bacchus, which was his Roman name, and Dionysus, his Greek name, he was the god of wine and celebration. The god of wine and celebration. And his little buddy was a satyr. Satyr, S-A-T-Y-R. Satan. Satyr. So he's horned, got a beard, has hooves, goat, lower half of a goat basically, and played little flute pipes and got drunk and had sex with women and just, had a grand old party time, freak-offs before there were freak-offs. So then, but they changed all that so that they could, by taking the images of our old gods, of the gods of the old ways, and demonizing them and turning them into evil spirits, then anyone that was pagan, which means peasant, right, that believed in the old ways and the old gods and their gods before they were into forced assimilation into Christianity, they would say, see, look, that's your God. He's a demon. He's the devil. He is Satan. When in fact, he wasn't. There's more evil in the Bible than anything else. I mean, there's prostitution, there's men, there's angels telling daughters to go lie with their fathers, to lay down with their fathers to get pregnant, because, I mean, it's just insanity. It's insanity. LaVey Satanism doesn't believe in the devil. We believe in ourselves. We use Satan. Yeah, but Anton LaVey was kind of a fraud. Got to look into him more. Don't just believe in that motherfucker's right. And I understand what he did, and I respect it to a point, but Anton LaVey was kind of a dick, and he was a bit of a groomer, so not really big into that shit. Again, you know, religion to me is just a way for primitive people to instill morals, the way that the Greeks did theater. Theater was vital to the ancient Greeks. Because it was morality plays. It was about saying, like, if you do this, I brought up Oedipus earlier. So the story of Oedipus is that he's born to a king who has a soothsayer tell him a prophecy that your firstborn son will murder you. So you need to murder him. So he sends the baby off to be murdered after it's born. The soldier who takes the baby says, I can't murder a fucking baby, sees an old woman and an old man who are fishermen, who are fishing, and they live on the island across the way, and he's like, look, take the baby, never come back, stay there. So Oedipus is raised on this island and has no idea who his real parents are. I don't remember the instigating reason why he's sent back to the island, but he's sent back to the island, and on his way, he's almost run off the path by a chariot or something, and then he gets pissed off and he chases after the chariot, murders a dude. Turns out that's the king, that's the father, that's the guy that sent him away, that was trying to keep himself from getting murked, and then he gets murked. So then he goes and he solves the riddle of the Sphinx, which gives him then nuptials for the queen, which is his mother. He then has 2 children with his mother, which are his sisters. And then that old soothsayer comes back and says, hey, I know who you are. You're the child that was supposed to be killed instead of killing your father. Well, guess what? You killed your father, you murdered your mother, and you've had two children with your wife, with your mother. Those are your sisters. So what does he do? He takes 2 daggers and stabs himself in the eye. And Freud, or someone in, I think it was Freud or somebody like that, did this whole thing about the Oedipus complex, where men want to marry women who are a lot like their mothers so that they can replace their fathers. And that was sort of the morality play in that. That's what, you know, the Greeks used theater in that regard. To teach morality, to teach people ways of seeing things in a different way, and they used art to do it. That's why art is so important, even to the ancients. It's always been important. Before I go, I wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, I admire you, and you're everything I love in this life. There you go, I told you. Thanks, Fabian. That's very nice of you. It's really nice. So, yeah. Y'all get me going on religion, I can go all fucking day. Art does say, but that's the whole point. Like, these were supposed to be parables. They were supposed to be teaching life lessons, and some of them are horrible, and so we should ignore them. We need, you know, there was an old saying that civilization needs an enema. And I think that's true. We need to get all the shit out. Life and Times of Lilith Otep, that's good, yeah. But I think we need something more than that. We need radical change. We truly do. In our minds first, because that's where everything begins, in the mind. Everything begins in the mind. Our biases, our insecurities, our fears, our aggressions are all projected onto other people. That's the greatest thing they ever did. George Carlin said this much more beautifully than I'm about to say it, but basically the greatest trick they ever did was divide us up racially and religiously instead of economically. Letting poor people realize that we have more in common, whether we're white, black, Asian, indigenous, Christian, pagan, whatever, working class, economics. That's what this is about. To keep us, I think it was LBJ said, you convince the poorest white man that he's superior to a black person, he'll empty his wallet for you. That was Johnson. He's the one that succeeded Kennedy after Kennedy was assassinated. Hello from Canada, Otep. I thought about moving there. How is it? Should I move to Canada? I love California though. I love LA. I don't know. I like Canada was great. Love from Germany. Tribe lives on. Guten Tag. Kiss good. I love Germany. I was engaged to a German woman for a while. She was great. I actually went to Germany. She was from Stuttgart, which I think is in Bohemia near the Black Forest. And I talked to her Oma, and we spoke about World War II, because she lived through World War II as a tween, and also East-West Berlin. She lived through that, and I was talking to her, like, you know, when the Allies came and liberated you from the Nazi camps or the Nazi regime, who are you more afraid of? Because they were told so many lies about the Allies, and she said both equally. Deutschland is the proper, is what Germans called, I think, Germany, Deutschland. West Berlin, all right, I love Berlin. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Love from Denmark. I love Denmark. I've been there too. So yeah, I think somebody, who was it? Was it Mark Twain? I think it was Mark Twain. It said, travel is the easiest cure for bigotry. Because once you start to see how other people live, not just told how they live, not just told what their culture's like, not just told how things are there, you won't see things the same way, because you possibly can't, unless you're just that bigoted and you're just that stupid that you let your fears and your phobias totally dominate everything about you. Your great aunt was in a concentration camp in World War II. Sorry to hear that. I'm sure she would understand see the parallels of what's happening in this country right now. I'm just reading the comments, y'all. Sorry. This was an interesting live stream. I'm going to subscribe before I hop off of here. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please subscribe to this channel. Fuck this fool right here. Forever. Ah. Kapow, kapow, kapow. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble and watching me humiliate these idiots. I appreciate that. The podcast is coming. Brett and I have been working on it. It's been a lot harder. I mean, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but we had a lot of wildfires in Los Angeles earlier this year, and now we got ice. So it's been tough. It's been real tough, you know. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for those of you who have embraced me and allowed me to be in your ear holes for 20 years or however long it's been since you've discovered me. I am eternally grateful to all of you. I would never have had this life if not for you. And so whenever anyone says my music has saved you, you have no idea how much you've saved me from. I don't even want to think about where my life would have been without this. So thank you so much. I am eternally grateful. I'm sorry I had to leave the genre. It's just for my own mental health. It's for my creative health. It's so that I can create more better things without the change, without the obstacles, and without the constant just barrage of hate that some of you have witnessed here today from people who just jump on live streams and start talking crazy shit. So thank you so much. Please subscribe, and I'll do this again soon. In the meantime, fuck this motherfucker for life. Do whatever you can to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Ain't nobody coming to save us but us.